Today we will be showing you how to fit an MPW YZF-R125 fairing kit. Check all bolt holes. If you have difficulty fitting any bolts, expand the hole with a pin vise or a scalpel, being careful not to scratch the fairing. Align both sides of the tail unit with the end cap and bolt them up at the rear of the panels. You'll need 2 Phillips head self-tappers and 2 nylon washers. This will hold the panels in place while you locate the rest of the rivets and screws. Slide all of the tail unit tabs underneath the plastic under tray and attach the push rivets. Use a flat-sided tool to push the rivet in securely. The side of a screwdriver will do. For the first push rivet in the centre of the tail unit, it can be helpful to get an extra pair of hands to hold the 2 panels together while you insert the push rivet. The second rivet should be easier to get in. Screw down the panels underneath the pillion seat with 2 self-tappers with nylon washers here. Insert 2 self-tappers with nylon washers here. Next are the 2 bolts next to the battery tray. Once again, penny washers help to hold the panels down properly. Fit 2 chimney nuts to the underside of the nose fairing below the headlight gaps. Fit 2 chimney nuts to the inside of the nose cone. Insert one of the headlights into the nose cone. The side light should be in the top corner of the fairing. Insert the 4 self-tapping screws into the lugs around the outside of the headlight. Insert a screw into the first chimney nut you installed from the front of the nose cone, and repeat for the other headlight. It's easier to install the screen now before you put the nose cone on the bike. Locate all of the rub nuts and insert your nylon washers and screen bolts. Tighten down all of the bolts. Put a chimney nut on the headlight mount bracket before situating the nose cone. Insert the bolts for your blanking plates or insert your mirrors to hold the nose cone in place. If you're fitting mirrors, locate the bracket underneath the fairing before bolting the mirror into place. Insert a self-tapper into the chimney nut on the headlight mount bracket. Attach the wiring for your headlights. Fit 3 chimney nuts along the bottom of the upper belly panel and repeat for the other side. Attach the upper belly panel to the bracket on the frame. You'll need to remove one of these bolts later, but it helps to hold it in place for now. Repeat on the other side. Attach the 2 upper belly panels together with push rivets. You may need to drill out the top rivet hole to get a better fit. Insert a push rivet in here. Insert your indicators into the indicator panel before fixing them to the bike. Here we have used some MPW aftermarket LED indicators. Clip the indicator panel into the nose cone. You'll hear an audible click when it's in place properly. Remove the bolt you attached earlier and put the indicator panel in place and then reinsert the bolt. Insert a self-tapping screw here to hold the panel in place for now. Slide a chimney nut onto the tab beside it. Attach the final bolt to the lower part of the indicator panel. Remove the self-tapper and locate the nose cone infill behind the indicator panel. Attach the infill panel to the tank frame. Reinsert the self-tapper to hold the infill and indicator panels together. Insert a self-tapper with a nylon washer here. Insert a bolt with washer on the front of the panel. Attach 2 fairing bolts to the infill panel to hold it in place. Remove and reinstall the hex bolt holding the tail unit so that the infill panel is held by it as well. Slide a chimney nut onto the indicator panel here. Slide a chimney nut onto the upper belly panel. Align the boomerang panel with the indicator panel. There is a lug on the back of the boomerang panel that locates into the second hole in the indicator panel. This helps to ensure you have the boomerang panel lined up properly. Attach the 2 topmost fairing bolts, ensuring you use nylon washers. Screw a self-tapping bolt through the panel on the bottom corner. Locate the lower belly panel into the upper panel like so. If you have trouble fitting the belly panel, make sure this has been installed correctly. Insert the side stand through the lower left belly panel. Secure the lower belly panel with 4 fairing bolts and nylon washers. Repeat for the right hand side. Insert small self-tapping screws into the tank fairing. Be sure not to screw these in too tightly as they can damage the finish on the tank. Just tighten until they seat gently. Slide the 2 halves of the tank fairing together and insert the remaining self-tapping screws. Remove the fuel cap and install the tank fairing over the fuel tank. It should slide on quite easily if you haven't over-tightened the screws. Secure the front of the tank with a dome nut and washer. Insert 2 self-tapping screws into the rear sides of the tank fairing and reinsert your fuel cap. Locate the seat cover or the pillion seat on the rear of the tail unit. Use a bolt to hold the seat cover in place. Install your seat and lock it in position. Place the MPW mudguard bracket on top of the mudguard and screw it into place. The MPW mudguard bracket kit comes with all the bolts you need. Insert the mudguard between the front forks. Use the 4 original bolts from your mudguard to attach it to the bolt holes on the forks. Attach the mudguard to the lower fork using a fairing bolt and nylon washer. Fix the side bracket into place, remembering to locate the Speedo cable stay at the same time. Repeat the process for the bolts on the other side. And there you have it, your MPW fairing kit is now fitted. Remember to like and subscribe and leave any comments below if you've got any further questions.